issues. We're just playing in drink land. Okay, audio is live. Cheers.
Cheers. I don't actually hear myself through these, but it's all good.
Try again.
Testing. Oh, there we go.
There you go. You kind of got to get close.
Yeah. We're all good now. Thank you.
All right, so we got our drinks here. This is half lemonade, half yerba mate. Really, really good. We discovered that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
But we are here to discuss Onewheel Racing League. So, Joey, let's see. A couple weeks ago, and apologies, takes us a little bit of time. Took us time to get rankings done, and then I was out for a period last week in Seattle doing some demos. Adam Laser's out this weekend, riding his bike all over the country, Idaho. Yeah. So, anyways, we're here, but we got to recap the Western regional finals first. I think, and then get to the Eastern regional finals, which are this weekend. We're both leaving tomorrow night to fly to North Carolina. That's really exciting. If you still want a chance to be in this thing, you still can. You can register to participate in North Carolina. Mm-hmm. It's right outside of Asheville, a town called Hendersonville.
Chattanooga Bike Park. Brand new bike park.
Almost. Canoga Bike Park.
Oh, Chattanooga.
Chattanooga's, I believe, a city in Tennessee.
My bad.
Canoga Bike Park. I heard it's super sick. We're renting it for the whole weekend. So if you participate, if you register to race, you get to ride the bike park all weekend for free. I guess for your registration fee. And that's super cool. So even if you just want to come ride one wheels, hang out, would still highly recommend it. If you are on the Eastern Seaboard or in the Southern United States, there is something funny about that word. So I would just quickly plug that. Yeah. That's available at onewheelracing.com. You can register there. But let's hop into it, Joe. Sure. What are your top storylines coming out of the Western regionals?
I'd say the new faces, at least to me, they were new.
Okay.
Thor Callahan.
Yep.
Who else did we have show up?
Sam and Jeff.
Jeff, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm with you on the storyline.
Yeah.
Big time. New faces performed super well. Mm-hmm. So Jeff got to the finals against Neil Bennett. Mm-hmm. And ultimately Neil got him by like fractions of a second. I mean, we didn't know.
By a hair.
Yeah, we didn't know.
Yeah, Jeff and I were standing at the finish line just wondering who won because it was just by fractions of a second. We couldn't actually make the call down there.
Sure.
We had to wait for the real data.
Sure. Laser and I were in the booth, and we didn't know what to say either. So obviously a great performance there by Jeff, and obviously an even better performance by Neil. Big snaps and claps for Neil Bennett. Was happy to see him come out on top, especially because he was my pick going into it. I picked Neil, so
humble guy.
Just got to give myself a little pat for that. Mm-hmm. Congrats, Neil. A good guy. Good to see him come out on top. And I mean, it was interesting in the sense that basically almost all of the most talented riders that I know of in the country were there. Mm-hmm. A few exceptions.
Yeah, it was stacked.
But it was super stacked. So it was interesting to see how it all shook out.
Mm-hmm. That's why the storyline we were talking about newcomers was so interesting because we saw, Thor and Sam make it past some of those old faces that we've seen dominate. And it was super impressive just to watch that. Like, oh my God, they came out of nowhere and now they're competing against the best among them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sam Sam was bracketed against Austin Silva, who had the top time trial time in the entire group. So came in as the number 1 seed. And Sam, who's, I don't know, 17 years old, out of Arizona, is his first racing season. Is he 17? Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he's younger. But head-to-head, Sam beats Austin. First race. I mean, that was a huge surprise, I think, to me. But yeah, good for Sam for coming out there and doing that. I would say, for me, on the woman's side, two things. One, I thought Rachel Payne looked awesome. Rachel Payne looked super fast, really just smooth all day. And I thought that she was going to get the better of Mercedes Silva, who's kind of like, it seems like she's shaping up to be the clubhouse leader.
Yeah, I think she's going to be the one to beat.
She has the target on her back. And so I was curious there going into the final. You know, the two of them made it to the finals, and they both looked kind of like, you know, on that collision course. I thought Rachel Payne was going to beat her. That's who I predicted. She had that slip up out of the gate.
Oh, that's right.
She had a slip up out of the start gate, and just was flying to make up time, but like there was not enough trail to make up. But to me, that's a storyline that I'm looking at, is in that top group of ladies who's the best?
Right. I'd say with both of them, they're both total professionals.
Yes.
Like absolute composure at the top of the hill.
Yeah.
People are in their faces with cameras. You know, we have the follow cam going, and they're just like laser focused.
That's so
not
true.
bothered by anything.
That's so true. And Allie also did well. Allie finished, I think, I forget who, if it was Mercedes or if it was Rachel, but I think maybe Rachel just beat out Allie to get there. But Allie's is right in that. And then Gabby Soto did tremendously well.
How old is Gabby? She's
14, 15. I mean, she's just, you know, just old enough to race, basically. Yeah. But she had a great performance too. So again, we see. I guess that's another storyline to me, is like, is Gabby going to break into that top group? I think right now, in my mind, she's just kind of sitting outside of that big four. But she raced really well at the Western Regionals, and I think she's sort of like put herself in the conversation as someone who can come out and you know, win, basically.
And if not now, she's got time.
Say
she's only 14. She's got years.
Totally.
Of leg room. You know?
Totally. She's the future. Yeah. Should we go? Any other storylines that jump out at you, or any other things that you saw that you were like, well, I didn't expect that?
On the men's side, I did not expect Noah and Jesse Turpin to fall out as early as they did. Both super fast.
Sure. I mean, I would put Brendan Schermeier in there too.
Yeah, good point.
Right. So Noah finished 9th in the time trials. I might be getting this wrong. I don't have it in front of me, but Jesse finished 14th and Brendan finished 12th, something like that. That's in the time trials, right? So that wasn't during the second day bracket, but yeah. So Noah just on the fringe. He didn't make it to the second day by one spot, which was probably like a fraction of a second, realistically.
Right. Oh, okay.
Right.
Still tough to see. You know?
Yeah.
That's one of those guys that's always in the conversation, and he's just just outside of it.
But when it's top 8 on the men's side, it's like, I believe that they were all divided, you know, separated by like fractions of a second. They're all, you know, the other thing too that we should mention is that course was so different. The time trial course that we ran everybody around was like radically different than anything we've done before. So interesting to see someone like Brendan, you know, or Jesse not doing as well on that style of course. I talked to Jesse. He's like, I don't like this course.
Wow.
Like,
okay.
Like, this is not like, I think both of those guys, Brandon and Jesse, are like these fearless, dudes that long straightaways, like there's almost no one more psycho and like more willing to go
2019
fast.
Brendan Schermeier
Yeah,
straightaway.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
when he makes
Jesse,
his
I
famous
mean,
pass. Yeah.
Totally. I think those courses suit them well. And I think there'll be some of that at Race the Rail. I think Race the Rail will be a nice mix based on some scouting out there. So,
you want to tell us anything about that? No.
we have the dates. It's the 20th and the 21st of August. It's in the Reno Tahoe area. I think that's like basically what we're saying at this point. After this weekend, we'll know everyone that's going. I guess we should mention that that on the, let's see, let me find my WORL. We have our automatic invites based on the Western Regional results. Let me just find that really fast.
I still got to make graphics for those. Clinched graphics.
You do. Well, off the top of my head, because it takes me a second to find this email. Okay, so we know that Neil Bennett won the Western Regionals. He gets an automatic ticket. Let's actually start before that. We know that Tyler won last year. He's got an automatic ticket on the men's side, and then Kyle finished second. So those are 2 automatic tickets. We then know that Neil won, so he got an automatic bid.
Right.
We know that Jeff Adair came in second, so that's an automatic bid. Top 4, right? We know that Kyle Hanson finished 3rd,
right?
But he already has a bid,
right?
So that goes to the next person down. So Sam finished in that top 4,
and then
Sam has a bid.
5th was Austin
Silva, right, based on lowest cumulative time in that round before that. So those are your 6 people on the men's side that have automatic bids based on all of the information that we have. And we'll know after this Eastern Regionals who the next 4 automatic qualifiers are. And then the remaining open invites will go to the top ranked riders.
Got it.
On the women's side, we know Mercedes Silva. We know Zoe and Rachel Cecil
from last year.
We know Mercedes Silva finished 1st. Rachel Payne finished 2nd. Allie finished 3rd, and I believe Gabby finished 4th.
Yep.
So it's clean, straightforward on that side. So those are your people with Race the Rail bids.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both sides so stacked.
Yeah. It's good. I feel like the system's working as intended.
Yes.
And so obviously on the east, at the Eastern Regional, we have 4 more bids up for sale. Not actually.
Oh yeah, you can't buy us.
you can't. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see who gets those. I think it is going to be a pretty stacked field from what I hear. Who's going out there? So excited to see. Let's see if I. Well, it doesn't matter. I remembered all the rankings from the top of my head.
You got them. That was impressive.
I get bonus points for that. We can unveil our rankings though.
Yeah.
I have them open. We usually start with the women's side, so let's start with the men's side today.
Sure.
Do we want to go?
Let's go 10 up.
Well, we should start at 16.
Okay. Sure.
Actually, let's start at 16.
Okay.
So in 16th, ranked 16th overall, we have Michael Mattersteck, who finished 13th at the Western Regionals.
Okay.
15th, we have Matthew Corbett. He placed 12th at Seek and Shred, and he placed 27th in time trials at Western Regionals. In 14th place, we have Sam Lara, who hasn't been to many events, but finished 4th at Western Regionals.
Mm-hmm. Are you looking at the same list I am? Mine is a little bit different. All the same names, just a couple places off.
Let's compare notes. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. You're right. These are different. There's multiple. Let's see. I might be on the wrong spreadsheet here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I think I'm on a week, a previous week, huh?
Got it.
All right, you read the rankings.
Sure.
Yours are right. Mine are wrong.
All right, let's start from 16. It's 3 of the same names, but at 16 we have Matthew Corbett.
Okay.
15, Jacob Leary.
Okay.
14, there's Michael Mattersteck.
Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. That's what it is.
I had a feeling you're on the
Apologies.
same right sheet, just different. Yeah, wrong tab. 13, Brandon Liqueur. He was previously in the top 10, I want to say, in a previous week.
Right, and you have to think that he'll be at the Eastern qualifiers.
Mm-hmm. 12, there's Sam Lara.
There you go.
Some people thought that he should be a little bit higher, but other people had more, they had raced more.
Sure.
So Sam did really good at Western, but hopefully he shows up at the Eastern and
it doesn't even matter for him. He's got.
Oh, good point.
He's got to take it.
Yeah. At 11, Tahoe Dave Stewart.
Okay. And he actually finished 11th overall at on time as well at the Western Regionals.
Okay. At 10, the Flying Hawaiian, Jesse Turpin.
Okay.
At 9, we have Bodie Harrison, who has fallen a couple spots, I believe.
He finished.
I could pull up the actual graphic.
Oh, from last time?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I mean, I think he probably moved behind a couple folks. Like, I don't know if Jeff was in front of him before. But, yeah. He performed well, though, at Western Regionals overall. He came in and laid down a nice time trial and then got bumped in the first round, I think. But
that was really funny. He showed up late.
He did show up late.
Laid down like one of the best times.
It's true.
Just right out of the car. That was awesome.
It is true. But going forward, rider meetings are mandatory. So if you miss your rider meeting in the future, you will not be able to participate. Just a note.
At number 8, we have Thor Callahan, who climbed a spot. He went from 9 to 8 this week.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
He had the 7th. He finished 7th in the Western Regionals.
At 7, we have Tyler James, who stays at 7 from the previous stage.
Okay. He finished 6th at Western Regionals.
At 6, we have Noah Bild, who's now fallen 3 spots.
Okay.
Last stage, he was at number 3.
Mm-hmm. And he came in 9th at Western Regionals on time, but he finished 3rd at Wheel Scorcher, 6th at Seek and Shred, 5th at Dirt Surfers. So he's been consistently in that top group, so didn't slide too far.
At 5, we have Brendan Schermeier, who's fallen a spot from 4 to 5.
I'm slightly surprised that he didn't fall more, just because he finished 12th on time. So I think that's interesting. He's being rewarded for have finished 2nd in Seek and Shred and was quite dominant at that event, and then 3rd at Dirt Surfers. So he's done well in some of those community organized events, which I think is keeping him keeping him up there.
More to go off of, more consistent throughout.
Sure.
At 4, we have Jeff Adair going up 1 spot. Finished 2nd at the Western Regional. That guy is fast.
Jeff is super fast, fun to watch.
Yeah, super fun.
Yeah, like Jeff a lot.
Okay, 3. This one's the story here. Is Neil Bennett. He's climbing 13 spots with this one. I
mean, he finished 1st at Western Regionals against all of these guys. So I think that pencils out for me. The only other race that he's done this year is Dirt Surfers. He finished 10th. He held himself out of Seek and Shred because he was an organizer for that event.
Noble.
Noble, yeah. So that I think that's part of why he hasn't been to, participated in as many race events. But yeah, you finished first in the Western Regionals. You get rewarded. Also automatic bid now. So
at number 2, Kyle Hanson, who's staying at 2, locked in.
he finished third at Western Regionals. Yeah.
That guy, of everybody I've ever seen on Onewheel, he just looks comfortable and at home.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that's complete second nature to him.
I love watching Kyle race and ride one wheels in general. He's awesome. Every single race that he was in at over that weekend was like the most entertaining, most fun, closest. I mean, the first round was him and Tyler, who are great buddies. Like it was super close all the way through. Like his race against Neil were super close. It was just really entertaining. So.
I was watching a replay Tyler was showing me of how close their second race was. Oh, they're literally like
that far apart.
Yeah, Tyler, I think like pushes a little bit ahead, but yeah, it's like a timing thing. Yeah,
we're gonna need like those super slow-mo cameras.
Yeah. Okay, and then at number 1, Austin Silva, holding his ground as King of the Hill.
Okay, and he finished 5th overall at the Western Regionals, but he was first at Wheel Scorcher, first at Seek and Shred, 8th at Dirt Surfers.
It's pretty dominant.
He's been consistent, but he also was first in the time trials the first day too. So, anyways, yeah. So that's your top group: Austin, Kyle, Neil, Jeff, Brendan, Noah, Tyler, Thor, Bodie, Jesse, Dave, Sam. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's gonna have a slightly different take. I think you could argue Sam should be higher. You can argue Brendan should have dropped a little bit more. I don't know, but I think this is pretty consistent with what we're seeing. In terms of people who don't have bids, like the next group of people that don't have bids right now is like 1 through 4 all has bids. Austin, Kyle, Neil, Jeff, Adair, those guys all have bids. Then you have a group that doesn't have bids. Brendan, Noah don't have bids yet. Okay, but they're ranked decently high right now. Tyler has a bid at 7. And then you go back to Thor, Bodie, Jesse, Dave, don't have bids. Oh.
Those guys can all win it. The people that are out of contention right now, they can all win. They can show up to race for their own win. So it's crazy that they're not in yet.
Yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully some of them lay down some times. But all right, let's kick it over to the women's side here.
Yeah. I'll start at 16 again.
Let's start at 12 because we have 12 bids.
Oh, right. Okay. Jamie Bryant at 12. I love Jamie. She competed last year.
She did well.
Showed up. She had her pink dreads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she has so far not competed this year. So she's living on that preseason ranking of she came into the season number 6. She's living off that ranking. I think that's a debate that's been going on, at least internally, I know, is like how much should we value a preseason ranking? Even the rider above her here is Zoe Thomas, right? Zoe Thomas won it all last year, but hasn't gone to a single race this year. She's ranked 11th on the women's side. And let's just be honest, the women's side is not as deep as the men's side, right? I mean, we have a really deep group of men who are racing this year. The women's side is a little bit like we're seeing not as many riders come to each event, right? So there's that, but it's like, I mean, someone like Lily Lamb, who's ranked number 14 overall, she showed up at the Western Regionals, finished 5th. But you're betting here that if Zoe raced Lily heads up, Zoe would win. Right. But that's an assumption. I don't know. It's like, what do you guys think? This is year one. We're sort of getting this all dialed in. But okay, so we have Jamie Bryant at 12, and we have Zoe at 11.
Now when we're in the top 10. Yep. I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher this last name.
So I was told by Nicole that it sounds like What a Maniac.
Oh, okay. I can do that.
Like What a Maniac is what she told me.
That's an awesome last name.
I'm sure it's slightly different, but
okay. Nicole, What a Maniac at 10. that puts her in the top 10. She was previously 11. So
Yep. And she finished
job,
6th at Western Regionals.
at number 9, moving up 10 spots,
Wow.
Brenda Bonnell.
Let's go, Brenda. The good friend
Yeah, great
of
gal.
the program. Love Brenda. She finished 8th.
And at number 8, we have Tori Schenwerk.
And she finished 7th at Dirt Servers and 3rd at Seek and Shred. We'll see if she makes it out to the Eastern Regionals.
I think she should.
Yeah, I think she should too. I think she's in pole position here.
Yeah, exactly. At number 7, we have Christy Miller. I love watching Christy ride. She's awesome.
What can we say
She's powerful.
about the Millers? Great people.
And staying locked in at the 6th seed is Amanda Thompson.
Amanda Thompson at 6. Absolutely. Finished 5th at Wheel Scorcher, 5th at Seek and Shred, 6th at the Dirt Servers. She's been a constant presence. I assume she'll be at the Eastern Regionals, but we'll see.
She seems like she should be right where she is. If she's going 5th, 6th, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
6th, 5th, 5th.
Okay, yeah. That seems consistent,
And she got jumped by Gabby Soto.
For this last performance.
For this last performance. Gabby finished 4th at Western.
So, at number 5, we have Gabby Soto climbing 2 spots.
And then we get into the top, what I consider to be the Power 4.
I'll let you take these 4.
Okay,
Yeah.
on the women's side.
Yeah.
So in 4th, we have Rachel Cecil. She came in 1st at Wheel Scorcher, and I assume she'll be at the Eastern Regionals. She also came in 3rd at Dirt Surfers.
That's another powerful rider.
She's awesome,
Yeah.
and she has an automatic bid.
Yeah.
So she's going. In 3rd, we have Allie Stanley. Allie is like reminds me a little bit of like an early Bodie in the sense that she finished 2nd at Dirt Servers, 2nd at Seek and Shred, 3rd at WRL. Just like
always
constantly
right
at the top, but she hasn't had that like breakthrough yet. But I think it's a matter of time for her. She's super talented.
I'll also say Allie always looks like she's having the most fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, without question. She's always the one smiling and, laughing, screaming.
Totally.
It's awesome.
Absolutely. Bouncing around.
Yeah.
In 2nd, we have Rachel Payne, who I was so close, I think, to or gave Mercedes Silva a run for her money, and I think if she had a clean run, it would have been super interesting to see heads up who would have won. And then in 1st place, coming off a win at Western Regionals, Mercedes Silva. So congrats Mercedes. Yeah. So I think, so Mercedes, Rachel, Allie, Rachel Cecil, and Gabby have automatic bids plus Zoe. So those who are still looking for their bids would be Amanda, Christy, Tori, Brenda, Nicole, Jamie, Jenna Galstad, and others. So
I hope to see some of them at the Eastern.
you would think so. Yeah, you would think so. It's like I said, on the men's side, you look at this. We have a spreadsheet that tells us what placement everyone got at all of the races over the year. On the men's side, it's littered. Like it's harder to move up and down because so many of those racers have been to so many of the events that it's like incremental change. On the women's side, most of these, besides a core group that's really at the top, a lot of these women haven't been to that many of these races. And all it takes is going to a race like the Eastern Regionals and performing really well. Right. And you could be invited to go to Race the Rail, which is a really cool experience.
So if you're not hearing Jack correctly, you should come.
Yeah, go send it. Like what is there to lose,
Yeah.
Nothing really. Yeah, so I'm excited. I mean, I think the storyline on the women's side again is like these top 4, it's going to be tough for anyone else to crack into that top 4, although some, Gabby is sort of right there. Maybe Amanda Thompson can break through. But I think, yeah, the real question is like Mercedes, Rachel Payne, Allie, or Rachel Cecil, like who you got, I think that's what's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
I'm looking at the comments. I think this is a good question to answer. There's some people asking how the ranking system actually
Works.
Yeah, works, which I think is a totally fair question.
Yeah. So the ranking system is developed by our race, I don't know what we call them.
Committee.
Our third-party committee consisting of John and Chelsea Grace, who are mavericks in the competitive kayaking world, and absolute legends.
Whitewater legends.
Yeah, they're the best. They're absolutely the best. So like on the algorithm side, we don't, like, that's not our business essentially. But I do know that it's I do know a few things. So I know that it's weighted, like it's weighted in a way where it values performance, but it also takes into account showing up appearances, right? So like if you go to every single race, it's probably going to help you.
Yeah.
But if you finish top 3 at 2 of the races, but you didn't make it to the rest, you're not like severely penalized. Basically,
Right.
There's a weighting system essentially. And I also know that the Western and Eastern regionals are weighted more heavily than the rest of the races. So that's why you see someone like Neil Bennett shot up the rankings from 16 to number 3 because he won the Western regionals. I mean, that to me that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I mean, I think it'll be interesting to see this season play out and to think about any adjustments that we can make to make it more equitable. I'd also say that we have essentially like the computer poll, and then we have a committee, and each of them puts together their own poll, and then those are averaged together to create these rankings. So, like it's if there's ever like a situation where the algorithm ranking doesn't sort of like intuitively sit right, there's sort of like a human counterbalance. But we've been having some internal talks about a point system. Like I know that that's something that's used in NASCAR, mountain biking, or other disciplines like that. I think it's pretty interesting. I think the only thing about the point system is that, you're really, it makes a ton of sense in professional leagues where people, the same group, are going to every single event on the circuit. At this point, like, very few people are being paid enough money to quit their day jobs and go do this. Be expected to be at 7 events over the course of the year.
Right. You can't expect anybody to like not show up to their job on Thursday and go race Onewheels.
Do that 6 times
at this juncture. Yeah.
Do that 6
throughout
times
the
per
year.
year.
Yeah.
Shoot, it's our full-time job, and
True.
we have a hard time making it to all of them. So, I think that's the consideration. But yeah, I mean, I think I'll tell you this. This is far and away the best setup that Onewheel Racing has had I guess it technically started last year, but we've been racing Onewheels for a while now. And we've been trying to figure out who gets to go to the highest, the best race the rail. That's been something that we've debated for years, and we've tried different things. We tried a social media vote that didn't really work very well. When turns out we have influential people on social media that wanted to go. Last year we sort of like left a vote to the racers and left spots open, right? And that was
the wild card.
It was kind of cool, but like this is definitely the most merit-based system. Everyone has an opportunity to show up at one of these Eastern or Western qualifiers and just qualify for a spot. Finish top 4, easiest way to get in. Finish top 4, you're in.
Right.
You don't need to debate any rankings. You don't need to debate anything. It's performance-based, right? So everyone's got a shot to come do it. And then, we've incorporated these other events, which are super high-level events. We've been to a number of them. Well-run, professional timing, by and large, the best athletes there. And so I feel great about this year being able to acknowledge those performances too, and assign the extra invites based on this cumulative,
right,
performance basically.
I think with previous years' systems, you can't have, or you wouldn't have a person like Sam Lara show up out of nowhere and like dominate the way he has, because and like make it fairly and squarely into the race for the rail.
Yeah.
We wouldn't know about them,
Yeah, totally.
We couldn't.
Totally.
So I think this system is totally like the way to go. It's something that's fair and equitable and sort of is unbiased. It sees everybody.
Sure.
If you just show up, it's not going to hurt you. If you show up and you get credit for it,
It's going to help you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I guess before we sign off, I would say there's I think a few housekeeping things. I don't have my list in front of me, so I might forget some of them. But for the Eastern Regionals, register. Make sure you register. It's going to be super fun. Canoga Bike Park, really good time. That's on Saturday. Time trials are on Saturday. The race is on Sunday. I believe it will be streaming live at noon Eastern time, 9 a.m. Pacific. Apologies for our stream issues with the Western Regional. We're working hard to get that figured out. So please tune in, check it out. Available on our YouTube channel. If you qualify for day 2, everyone can race on their own boards for the time trials on day 1. Day 2, we're going to have a different format, which I'm excited about. I think we're racing 4 racers at a time, and bottom racer drops. Bottom racer is out, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun.
Heck yeah.
You can race on your own board as long as it fits into, as long as it's basically like approved, ORL approved. On our website, there'll be like some details there for what you can race with, what you can't race with, essentially. We'll also bring some boards too. If you want to borrow a board or need a board, we have you covered. What else? No alcohol. Bring sunscreen.
Definitely.
Also, it might rain, like I think in the afternoon.
Oh, I was just about to say bring board shorts. I'm pretty sure there's a lake nearby, but I guess
Bring
not.
board shorts, bring an umbrella. I don't know.
Bring both.
Yeah. But I think that might be about it. And then, so after this weekend, we'll know our automatic seeds right away, and then we're going to work hard to get the rankings out, and so that we can identify the 6 seeds on the men's side and the 2 seeds on the women's side that, based on rankings, will be invited to race the rail. And as soon as that's done and we know everybody, 2 things will happen. One, we'll announce more details. You will be able to attend Race the Rail and watch just as a spectator. You'll probably need, there's somewhat limited space. So you will probably have a ticketing system. You probably will need a ticket to come. So we'll announce that information. And we will also unveil the bracket too. So
This is my favorite part.
Race the Rail seeding, the rankings will seed the racers. So unlike in years past where we had one day to do a bracket and push it out and people can pick their picks, this year you'll be able to fill out a bracket weeks ahead and have something to root for during the event.
And there may be a cash prize.
There may be a prize. Yeah, there may be a prize. Yeah, super exciting. So that's all I got.
Cool. Yeah, if people do want to know more about what they can bring or should bring, check out the FAQ page on onewheelracing.com. It's all updated.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good work.
Cool.
Well, thanks again for everybody for tuning in. This weekend should be super fun. If you can make it, go ahead and register. If you can't, it'll be on YouTube. And good luck to your favorite racer. Yeah. Peace out.
See you guys.